Welcome. This is Frank. Everything black. Everything black. Let me get some. I'm trying to get some good, simple music on here. But a lot of strange stuff is happening with this NY New York shooting in Manhattan. A lot of strange things are happening. Kind of want y'all to hear what these people are saying. Right now, they saying he's a lone shooter. You know, he's by himself, and they're saying that he had mental issues. Um, I was listening to one program, I think it was Fox, where they were saying like the dude had either lost $9 million or something like that. I could be wrong, so y'all don't quote me on that, but I think it was something to do with money. Because this dude drove all the way from Nevada to New York and then jumped out in broad daylight with a AR-15. But what's so strange about it is that there was cops in the building. Were they not paying attention to this guy? Were they not aware? Because this guy just walked straight into the building, killed 4 people. I guess he's killed 2 at the bottom. I'm gonna say 3 at the bottom and 1 at the top. And he went to the 33rd part of the building, the 33rd level. You know, that's kind of like that conspiracy theory stuff about the alt-right. I mean, you know, strange things that be happening with the letter 33 involved. You know, the number 33. So a lot of strange things will happen. So we're gonna go over it, and I want y'all to check it out. And you know, in the comments, let me know what you think about how all this occurred. It's strange because, like I said, this guy drove from Nevada all the way to New York. I'm pretty sure that's over 2,200 miles. I'm gonna check my phone, everything while they talking. I'm gonna find out the exact amount of miles. But yeah, I mean, a lot of strange stuff was happening. How do you walk with an AR-15 pistol, jump out of a BMW, according to what a couple of news sources here, that it was a BMW he was in. And they're gonna go over and talk about this killer. So let's go on and get started here. Let me open this thing up. Let me bag it up just a little bit. We'll go back just so we can get a full contact. Fair use Facebook, fair use Fox. This is all for educational purposes. Anybody involved on here, fair use. We're just trying to get information to.
Who died by suicide inside the building on the 33rd floor.
Eyewitness News investigative reporter Dan Krauth.
Alleged shooter is Shane Tamura, who died by suicide inside the building on the 33rd floor.
Eyewitness News investigative reporter. All of this.
This guy kind of look. Let me bag it up. This guy kind of look Hawaiian or something like that. I don't think he's FBA. I think he's an immigrant. I would say he may be American, but you know, I think look like he got Hawaiian descent, like he's from Hawaii somewhere. which is, still part of America, but just looks, don't look FBA. He doesn't look like a foundation black. But, maybe, but he got that Hawaiian look of him. So, if you want to, I don't think he's from this side of the block. But anyway, they finna tell you about where you from. So let's go through that. I don't think he's FBA though.
At the building on the 33rd floor.
Eyewitness News investigative reporter Dan Kraut in the newsroom now, digging into what we know about him and how all of this unfolded tonight. Dan?
Mike and Shelley, detectives will be working throughout the night and the days ahead to piece together a profile of the man responsible. That includes the background of the 27-year-old gunman and a man who had a history of abuse. I want to warn you, the image you're about to see is graphic. This right here is the blood-stained, high-powered rifle police say Shane Tumar used.
This is the handgun supposedly used. And looks like it's got a lot of blood on it because I believe the guy shot himself. According to most of the news articles, he shot himself in the chest. That's the gun right there, y'all. Now this dude walks in broad daylight with this rifle. It's an AR15 according to most of the articles I've read and videos I saw on it. This is an AR15. He walked up there in broad daylight. Now, was the cops aware of him coming up there? Or were they doing something else? Was he not aware? Was he not doing his job at the time? Because that guy walked from his car and it looked like a good maybe half, I'm gonna say a good 50 yards, half a football field to the building. Look, it looks that way. Could have been shorter, could have been 30 yards. But it was quite a long way, and I'm surprised nobody saw him at the time he walked up there. It was nobody out there, according to the video, but him. And was the officer not paying attention? Was they somewhere else in the building and had to come there? Or what was going on? How did this good dude get all the way through that building and get up on the 33rd floor? Those are questions I'd like to know. Let's see if they talk about it.
Where it was purchased and when it was purchased. Police have surveillance video from the building today showing Shane Tumar leaving his black BMW, which he double parked outside, walked into the office building with the M4 rifle. Now, why he took that elevator up to the 33rd floor after shooting people in the lobby, we're still working to find out tonight. We have video of the gunman's neighborhood here in Las Vegas, where police are currently on the scene investigating there as well. The police commissioner saying he started his journey across the country on Saturday, July 26 from Nevada. He then traveled to the states of Nebraska and Ohio yesterday and arrived in New York City today. We spoke with a former special agent in charge with the FBI. He's worked on cases like this before. He says detectives are now scrolling through thousands of surveillance cameras to pinpoint the gunman's movements minute by minute.
How him to have brought it in, whether it's by car, or maybe he was in a bag, or maybe he was into a timeline of where he came from. We've done that in the past for many other cases. Going back to Times Square. Or bomber, or etc. They're going to take all the video cameras.
Okay, Dan, thank you.
Like I said, Go over here. This is the actual press conference with the New York mayor. I think that's the New York commissioner, the female. I guess that'll be y'all right side. But you notice they keep mentioning the word 33. And it seems like they don't really say how and the altercation between him and the first officer went down. That's my question is, how did he get all the way there without having any contact with anybody? It was like that whole area was like, vacant at the time. It's like nobody else was there but him. But we're gonna get to the mayor, let him do his thing. And it's all kind of sad because, like I say, 4 people lost their lives. But this just went down like it's just odd how it went down. That's all I'm saying. So y'all tell me what you think. Let me go through the press conference now.
This never gets easy. I always go back to the beginning of my role as mayor. Yell, no, God, please tell me it's not true. I thought about that today, and we're still, hearts are heavy. 5 innocent people shot tonight. We lost 4. So another. He was just 36 years old and a 3.5-year veteran of the department. He was doing what he does best, and all members of the police department carry out. He was saving lives. He was protecting New Yorkers. He's an immigrant from Bangladesh, and he loved this city. And everyone we spoke with stated he was a person of faith and a person that believed in God and believed in living out the life of a godly person. He embodies what this city is all about. He's a true blue New Yorker, not only in the uniform he wore, but in his spirit and energy of loving this city. And early tonight, I met with the officer's family. I told them that he was a hero. And we admire him for putting his, think about Jordan, my child, and this magnitude. And 3 other innocent civilians are also dead. 2 males, female, and a male is serious life in critical and despicable attack. Additional shot wound. To be clear, 6 total
Okay, let me
tonight
move it along here.
died, 1 including the perpetrator. And I'm sorry, 6 total was shot.
Okay. It seemed like he's getting confused. He said 6 was shot tonight. First he said 6 died tonight. And he changed it to 6 was shot tonight, including the perpetrator. So, according to what you see on the screen, 5 people dead, including the officer. And I don't know whether they getting things mixed up or not. But 6 people were shot, including the officer. But he said including the perpetrator. So it looks like 5 people are dead. But he keeps saying 6 was shot. I think there's 1 person still fighting for their life. So we're going to go on over to the lady, the commissioner, because I don't want to be sitting up here. Listen to the whole thing when y'all can go listen to that on your own. Let's get the lady up here. Here she comes.
Thank you, sir. The information that I'm about to provide is preliminary and subject to change. At 6:28 p.m., the 911 call center started receiving multiple 911 calls for an active shooter inside of 345 Park Avenue at 52nd Street in Manhattan. What happened next is under an active investigation and details are still coming in, but here's what we...
She said it's 6:25, but it looks like the guy was there in the daylight. Well, yeah, I guess now it's, it's still daylight now at these times. But she said it's 6:25, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna bag it up just a little bit. All right, let's see what she said again.
8 p.m., the 911 call center started receiving multiple 911 calls for an active shooter inside of 345 Park Avenue at 52nd Street in Manhattan. What happened next is under an active investigation and details are still coming in, but here's what we know so far. Surveillance video shows a male exit a double-parked black BMW on Park Avenue between 51st and 52nd Streets, carrying an M4 rifle in his right hand. He walks towards the building's entrance. That individual was seen exiting the BMW alone.
I'm sorry, I said an AR-15. That's an M4 rifle. There's the correction. She said a M4 rifle. That's him right there. I mean, where's the other people? You can look over here and over here. You don't see. I mean, I know it's people somewhere in these buildings. You got 2 people right there. And this guy looked like he just walked up there. And like I said, it was a good walk. You can look at let me pull the camera up a little bit. You can look. I mean, it's a long, he just double parked his BMW. He didn't, in other words, he parked crossway. He didn't give a fuck. From what, I mean, I don't know what, I'm not even gonna say what I think happened. I'm gonna let that come out. Big ass rifle in broad daylight. Now they say the calls were coming in around 6:28, but this looked too much like 3-4 o'clock. But, and these are glass, I'm pretty sure this is a glass building. I know these people saw this guy. There look like people, there's someone right there. I know there's 2 people there. And they're walking like, this is a still frame, but this guy is moving with that gun. I know people saw this dude right here. What they were doing, I don't know. What was the cop? Did he meet him at the door? He seen the gun, so he should have started blasting. Was the cop paying attention? Was his tension? Was he dealing with somebody else at the time? This should have started out here, not inside the building. It should have started outside the building. Somebody was not watching. And even the people out here, that they seem to be not noticing this guy with this gun, with this rifle. But anyway, let's get on to the rest of the story here.
The building's security camera footage shows the shooter enter the lobby, turn right, and immediately open fire on an NYPD officer. He then shoots a woman who took cover behind a pillar and proceeds through the lobby, spraying it with gunfire. He makes his way to the elevator bank, where he shoots a security guard who was taking cover behind the security desk. One additional male is shot in the lobby, per his own statement from the hospital. The shooter then calls the elevator, which opens in the lobby. A female exits that elevator, and he allows her to walk past him unharmed. He goes.
Why didn't he shoot that female? Why did he let her go unharmed? They say this was a targeted event. Did she know? Did the female know? The female know he was coming? He shot everybody but her that he encountered. Was that the woman that I think that was Fox News that was running with the police officer and handcuffed? Was she the woman? She the female? She had a scar on her head. We'll never know. We won't know until later. But those are just questions that I have. Like I said, this man should have been met with gunfire out here in this open space. He shouldn't have been allowed to get inside of that building, and nobody saw him. What was the security guard doing? He walked in and turned and met the cop. Was the cop walking his beat and walking his different stories of the building and just happened to run up on him? Where was the security? Security didn't even notice this guy until the last moment where he was found behind the desk and was shot. So that the people on the bottom floor got most of it. But the lady that was in the elevator when he was trying to get on there was not harmed. How did she get away? Why did he let her go? That's a good question.
Up to the 33rd floor, which is route and management, and begins to walk the floor, firing rounds as he traveled. One person was struck and killed on that floor. He then proceeds down a hallway and shoots himself in the chest. In total, we have 5 victims shot, our officer and 4 other innocent civilians, plus the shooter. The shooter is believed to be Shane Tamura, a 27-year-old male with a Las Vegas address. The vehicle he exited is registered in Nevada to Mr. Tamura. Inside of that vehicle, officers found a rifle case with rounds, a loaded revolver, ammunition, and magazines, a backpack, and medication prescribed to Mr. Tamura. The vehicle was searched by our bomb squad and found to be clear of any explosives. The initial investigation shows that Mr. Tamura's vehicle traveled cross country through Colorado on July 26th, then Nebraska and Iowa on July 27th, and then in Columbia, New Jersey as recently as 4:24 p.m. today. The vehicle entered New York City shortly thereafter. According to our law enforcement partners in Las Vegas, Mr. Tamura has a documented mental health history. His motives are still under investigation, and we are working to understand why he targeted this particular location. 345 Park Avenue is a commercial office building whose tenants include the NFL, Rudin Management, KPMG, and Blackstone. At this time, 4 of the 5 victims are deceased, including our NYPD cop. Our officer was transported here to New York Presbyterian along with 1 male civilian, the lone shooting survivor, who is in critical but stable condition at this time.
As you can see, this is the BMW. They saying it was double parked. I maybe because it was across this line, but he damn near drove the car. These look like steps here. He damn near drove the car up the steps. Then he jumps out, walks up there. Now this is broad daylight, y'all. The calls didn't start coming in at 6:28 of an active shooter, so he was already shooting by 6:28. So he had to arrive a little earlier than that. So there's the BMW. Like that's double parked, and damn near drove it up the damn steps there, and then jumped out. They had to notice this. Somebody had to notice this.
Other civilians, 1 male and 1 female, both deceased, were brought to Bellevue. The 4th civilian is a female who was found dead on the 33rd floor of the location. Additionally, there are 4 other victims being treated for minor injuries sustained in their attempts to flee the scene. Victims' names are being withheld at this time, pending family notification. Officers from our
I don't mean to sound silly, but was this a blood sacrifice? Well, I mean, 33rd floor, 1 shot, then shot itself. I think they put up a lot of furniture up against one of the doors to block it, so he couldn't get in there. Maybe the place he was trying to get into, he couldn't get into, and I guess he knew it was time to end it. Like I say, it was 5 victims are dead. I think 1 is still struggling to survive. And, you know, this is never good. This is all bad. It's just happened so weird. This was like weird. I mean, you never seen nobody just walk out broad daylight. I mean, we've heard of that in shootings up in Washington, D.C. and places like that. But in New York, you jump out in a handgun in Manhattan, that part of New York, just is all weird. And y'all let me know what you think. This is Frank Blanton, Everything Black. Appreciate y'all listening. Come back. We'll talk about it more in the next episode later. Have a good day.